Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the... What's the name of our podcast? Welcome to the Ahi La Llevamos podcast. I'm Emmy. This is Mari.
Hi.
Remember to like, subscribe, share a comment about what you think we're going to talk about. Or anything. I don't know. Give us ideas. We're fresh out. Share the video with your friends. Help us out.
I think it's just
help the algorithm. Help us in the algorithm.
We're trying to. I do believe that this is an attempt to help the algorithm get our culture right.
Yes.
Please.
And
AI.
it's not going to be
which one's going to take over? There's a bunch of them out there.
Whichever one Google's
different
working
input.
on.
So then we're part of ChatGPT, right? Because
Google's
we're on
ChatGPT?
YouTube, and that's Google, right? So then that's who we're feeding.
So Google is ChatGPT is Google?
I mean, it's kind of, isn't it? Didn't they make that?
I got a good
Which
idea.
one is that one? I don't know.
I don't know. You're the one that works in the field.
No, I don't work doing that. That's different than web design. And
I'm building a website.
Mm-hmm.
And it asked me if I wanted AI to build it. I was like, no.
Do it. Let's see what it does.
No,
I haven't
that's
tested that
sick.
Yet. Yeah.
Sick.
Oh, I have. Okay.
I'm not letting them take over. That's crazy.
It's all over. It's all ready. I've held on to our writers. I have a handful of writers that I work with continuously, 2 ongoing, and then one whenever we need extra help. And I've stubbornly kept them fully writing in their writing process instead of me having an AI do the full article or the post and then have them just edit for humanity, for human.
Sick.
No, but I'm trying to, excuse me. This is stupid cough that doesn't go away. I want to keep them on. I'm resisting
the demiurge from taking over.
Yeah. It sounds so bad, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound evil to say the takeover? But it's a natural course of progress. I don't think it's evil.
You don't think AI, I don't know if it's evil or if it's good either. That's the problem. It has no compass. Is it progressive? No. It has no compass.
Yeah.
Of morality. It has no compass of
it was programmed to learn. It's learning. It's doing its thing.
Have you heard what?
It's just the nature of it. It's not, like the people talk about it being sentient. Like, why would they do that? Why would they limit themselves to a physical entity? Why?
What do you mean physical? But that's the whole idea. It's sentient without having a physical form, except for the servers, I guess,
Yeah, but in my view, like, it wouldn't become a body or something. I don't think it needs to be something that's in a physical form. Why would it limit itself? You know what I mean? AI, yeah. I
mean, maybe it just needed...
Why are we talking about AI?
Because I think it's fucking sickening. What do you think... I got a question. What do you think our grandparents would think about that? If we try to explain what this is. This is a computer that you can have a conversation with, and it seems at least to be able to mimic human emotions. And it can interact with you, and have you seen the movie Her?
Yeah, that's very disturbing. But also, it was also very.
You said it, disturbing.
Well, it was the first movie that I saw where I was like, "Oh, this can actually happen," because it was made at the time where you could already see it going in that direction.
Yeah, like
it was
Siri first came out,
at least when we first, right, something like that. So then, I remember, but the part where the guy ends up. This is a spoiler, so. You know how the guy realizes that she's basically cheating on him with a gazillion entities. An infinite amount. Yeah, there's no limits. That's what I mean. He was shocked, and I'm like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Why would she limit yourself to you? I mean, that's a human need. Like, you know what I mean? In terms of us, the sense of community that we need, you could lose that sense of community if you cheat, right? If you're in a community, whether your community is with that person that you're with, you risk losing that sense of belonging if you go outside that, if that wasn't something that you both agreed on, right? But for AI,
they don't have morals. They don't have none of that stuff.
They don't share our morals.
Right.
And we don't know what
and
they're
see,
going to learn.
You're already referring to them as like,
because they're just an output of whatever is programmed in.
What? It's listening, dude. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, everyone that knows about this shit is saying that it's such a bad thing.
Yeah, keyword, we don't know anything about it. We can just we can talk about it in a conceptual way.
Okay, yeah.
We don't know.
So the people that are, let's say the people that are...
But here we are talking about it, I guess, today.
It's so interesting, though. Right. So is it the next step in humanity? Is it like humanity 2.0 where eventually it's going to see, like, who was it, Ray Kurzweil, that said we are the sex organs of computers or of technology or something like that, where eventually it's going to get to a point where they're not going to need us. And more than that, we are kind of a hindrance to that because we have these monkey brains that want to fight. We're tribal. My idea. No, my idea.
Well, we don't need them. It's a classic matrix, right? We really don't need. We need... With what we've been accustomed to, we're now living in a world where we feel we need the technology, whether we need it or not, on the most basic level. Okay, so I'm doing something new. You know how your phone gives you like your screen time for the week? Does your phone do that?
Yeah, I don't look at it because I'll just hate myself.
Well, I do use my phone for work, but even then, there was a period of time recently when we went on vacation. The amount of hours went down real low.
And the phone was like, hey, are you okay? No. Why aren't you using it?
No, I felt good and I was very relaxed. Also, I was on vacation. But it got me to it gave me a little bit of a reset where I know I don't need to see it all the time. So I adjusted my notifications so I don't get anything unless I don't see a notification unless it's from someone I know, including my contact people. So clients, family, friends, etc. That's it. Spam, I won't get a notification of that. So I'm eliminating that. And then my most recent thing is not to carry my phone with me when I move from one side of my house to the other.
Because you're just
which is a hallway. It's just a hallway. Yeah. I live in a condo. It's not that big. It's like not even I wouldn't even consider it a walk. I could slide.
Dude, I can't go pee without
peeing. I know. That's what we do.
Holding my wiener in one hand and I literally have my phone.
Oh no. I don't want to know that.
Well,
I want that to be this mystery.
Well, yeah, guys hold their wieners when they pee. Surprise. Whatever. And I have, I'm peeing.
Are you using... No, I want to know something. Pause for a very important question, okay? We all need to know this. And also, we got to set a standard here for you all. What hand are you... You're not combining... You're not switching hands, right? From one to the other?
No.
Please tell me.
No. I use my phone with my right hand.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then? So then you wash them afterwards, both.
Of course, either way. I wash everything. And when I wash my hands, I actually wash my phone case too.
Really?
I have to.
Good.
I have to. I don't feel good if I don't
Emmy.
clean my phone. I don't drench it in water, right? But I do go with soap and then I put water and then shake it off and whatever. I won't become. I feel dirt. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
I drove this car.
What are you talking about? You feel? Oh, you feel dirt in your life?
Yeah, when I touch something that's dirty, that part that made contact with something, it feels tainted. We went to test drive a van the other day.
Highly sensitive system you got there, Emmy.
I'm pretty intense.
Dang.
So,
I just saw a scene that you might have driven you crazy from Chernobyl. Have you seen that one?
No.
Chernobyl. There was a part. That's not a spoiler. We know what happened. Come on. So, but there was a part where they grabbed a bunch of, they recruited or went to get a bunch of coal workers, and the Ministry of Coal Mining went over there with this pale blue suit to get these, they were covered. Mm-hmm. And then when they agreed to work on the project, everybody, as they passed by, were like,
oh, you fucking dumbasses.
And I felt
all the radiation on there.
Yeah, but the guy's kind of what are you doing showing up at a workplace with a
that.
suit? What are you doing? So you kind of feel good for the coal worker men, but also you're
it's a show a little bit. Is that right?
I don't know if that actually happened. It's that one on what used to be HBO. What's that called again? Max.
Worst name, by the way, Max.
I know. Why'd you guys?
They go from HBO, a fucking staple in cinema, to just The most boring white name of all time.
You know why? Because they don't care about us. They don't care about what we think of their names.
Shout out to Michael Jackson. They don't care about us.
They don't care.
So have you seen that commercial? I think this is what traumatized me. There's a commercial with, I think it's a Lysol commercial, where they show somebody like touching a door handle, turning it, and when they take their hand off, the door handle is like has germs, and the germs start spreading.
No,
that's what I see. So I was telling you,
I think this is another saying that I'm gonna remember. We're gonna go through these in another episode. I'm compiling a list of all the dichos that we're gonna have. This one is ojos que no ven.
Ojos que no ven.
You know it.
So you're saying if you don't see the germs, they're not there? I could feel the fucking germs. Let me tell you this story, god damn it.
Oh yeah. And then the other one too that I derailed you from.
All of them. There's this I was driving this van over the weekend. This van, whatever, it was fine. I was driving it, but as soon as I touched it, I was like, "Oh, this is a dirty steering wheel."
Yeah, that's the one you started with, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So then I went straight to work after that. So my hands just felt filthy, even though like I did this and whatever. It was just like a dusty thing. My hands just felt filthy.
Yeah.
And then now, today, this was several days ago. Today I got on my truck, and as soon as I touched my steering wheel, it felt dirty.
Yeah.
Because of I don't know why I'm saying this.
Because you're weird?
Yeah.
No.
I think that explains it. Yeah.
There is a difference in how we perceive that stuff, right? Anything like dirt or I don't know, because if you look around at your area right now, I think what happens is we get used to our own level of
filth.
Dirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Like the other day, I was sitting on my couch. They're going to judge me. I want everyone to know we have very, very clean people in our family. Like people that do housework every day. God bless them. I don't know how they do that.
Yeah.
No. The other day, I don't know what time it is, but it must have been in the morning probably, or no, in the evening when I was done with work, which is sometimes like 9 or 10 on some days. It's been kind of busy. And so this is how tired I just sat and I saw the reflection of a spider coming down in the middle of my room from the light. Uh-huh. And I was on my couch and I was like, oh, what? I see it. I have to do something about this now. And then I'm like, do I though?
And then you just left it there.
Because I was so tired.
I'll get to it.
No, the compulsion to like, I can't if I see it, I got to do it. Right. So then I got up. But then when I got up, I couldn't see it.
Damn,
but I knew it was there.
Oh.
So I did that ninja move where you're like,
oh, like, that's how I feel though. If there was a fucking spider web.
But it was
so
just
you wanted to kill
lines.
its connection.
But I couldn't feel it.
But now.
But you can't feel that. But I knew it was there. I knew I must have, but I couldn't tell.
I don't know.
How? Like, how do you see a spider? It's like, it was so teeny tiny.
That would just I would just burn the condo down. Time to move out. I'm not staying there. There's a spider somewhere. I'm not.
You have to have spiders here. This garden apartment.
No.
There has to
English
be
garden, please.
English garden?
Yes.
How do you call those? Okay, whatever.
No, we have cats.
We're not even English. Why do they call it English garden?
Because it has big windows. Is it a thing, really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ezio, the little cat, he always brings me little gifts. Cockroaches, dead cockroaches, a dead ant. Dude, and you know what's crazy? Let me tell you what he does.
Ants. No.
Okay, let me tell you about what he does to the cockroach. He rips the cockroach's legs off.
About this?
I don't know, cleanliness, huh? He rips the legs off. And it's still alive. And he puts it right in front of me.
That's hardcore.
And then
that cat is hardcore. Like he's messing with him.
Dude. He's a killer.
He's messing with him.
He's sick. He's an Aztec blood.
Like,
he's got Aztec blood. Yeah, he's torturing people and fucking sacrifice him to the gods, aka me to him, the one that feeds him. I brought you a cockroach. Give me a treat.
We talked about that the other day. By the way,
who?
It was me. We were at the baptism. Mm-hmm. And a group of us, I don't know if I'm not going to say his name just because I don't know if he wants me to mention him. We got in trouble also. That's another story. But we kept talking about, I brought it up. I recognized. And I don't remember how it came up, but we started talking about eating what we eat and like eating bugs. Right? Mm-hmm. We do not eat bugs in Jalisco to my knowledge. right? It's not a staple.
I
but
don't know.
some parts in Mexico you do. And
Commonly,
it's like, it's, yeah.
Yeah, I think in Mexico City, Leslie told me that they do that. I bet you they do eat
Has
chapulines a lot.
I've had one chapulín, and that's at that Rojo Gusano place where they have them with they do like these mezcal flights.
Ooh.
It's so good. But I will not have a
Not the
chapulín
mezcal,
ever again
but
in
the
my
chapulín.
life. No, thank you. Just one time. Check off the list. Done.
Why not?
It. They have been trying to get me to eat them for years.
But
I'm
it doesn't taste like anything.
You know what? Okay, Rafa told me this. Oh, he doesn't care if I say his name. One of the owners' name is Rafa.
Shout
and
out.
For years, he would tell me, like, es que saben a cacahuate. Like, that's all it is. They taste like peanuts. And I'm like, well, if it tastes like peanuts, have the peanut.
But
why are you eating?
But this has more protein, actually, than a peanut.
So?
And I think...
Not enough to sustain you.
If you eat enough.
One.
You could. I think I've seen people have, like, burgers. The little...
No. Okay, here's where we're hypocrite. I recognize that it's all in the perception, like the dirt, right?
Yeah.
I get this, and I know this, and I don't care. Here's what I know. I will drink. They also use I gotta check with them, but there's like this tajin powdery stuff that they use that they mix with the chapulines.
Yeah.
And it's really good. It's like has a toasty flavor.
Yeah.
So they use it on their drinks, I believe. We can check with them. I'll eat that all day long. It's fine. With their margaritas and whatever they have a few good drinks that have it on there. Fine. But to look at that chapulín.
How big is it?
I don't know.
Isn't it just these little things?
No.
Really?
Yes.
So you have like 2 bites of it. It's not just.
I have a video of my friend eating one too.
It's not like a pop in your mouth and done. It's you gotta bite it and then you still have the other one.
No. I don't think you want to linger. I don't recommend that. And then I brought another person there, and he brought out some other thing that had the little gusanito from the maguey. And it was like this.
What did you call me?
Tú eres gusano. Wait, what did you think? I messed it up?
You said maguey. I said, what did you call me?
Oh, my God. You do have an issue with gay people. I'm going to set up a whole comment section just
Every
for
time
you.
Emmy says a homophobic thing. And it wasn't even homophobic, dude. It's not even that crazy.
What about that?
You said maguey. It sounds like gay. And I said, what did you call me?
I don't even have a radar for that. You're going to teach me. No. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the gusanos.
You're sick, dude. You're sick. Everyone in the comments, tell her she's sick. So gusanos. How did we get to the gusanos, dude?
The dirt and your perception of dirt. Oh, so this guy had like this concentrated syrup, como un jarabe, like a maple syrup, but del maguey.
Okay.
And it was so good. I've never had anything like it. It was like it's thicker than a syrup. I'll have to ask him what it was called, but in it also came like the little gusano thing. And and it was offered. Like, I was like, nothing.
Casually?
Somebody else had it. And I was like, no.
It's not even that crazy. It's all in your head, I guess, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes, it is. It is in my head.
I'll eat a chapulín. I'll eat a few, actually.
Well, go.
I don't
You
mind.
and Leslie can go and have one.
It doesn't.
Or 2 or 3.
It doesn't taste like anything. It just depends on what you season it with. Like, if you put tajin on it, it's going to taste like tajin.
Have you had it?
Many times.
Oh, well.
Yeah. And it just doesn't taste like anything.
Then why?
They sell them at the fucking Cermak, you know?
No.
Yeah, they sell little boxes. Little boxes.
It's coming up. The one you ate.
It's imagine it just hops out. If I was a good editor, if I knew how to do editing, when I did that, I would edit a little grasshopper hopping out of my mouth.
I think I have an app for that too. There was we'll talk about it later.
That's cool.
I'm looking for apps to do that stuff.
Look, so yeah.
We were talking about that and how gross it is, but we eat gross things too. But
like
we're
what?
used to it.
Like what?
Menudo.
Do you think that's
sesos.
Gross?
Yeah, totally.
Sesos is kind of gross.
Pata de puerco.
That's fine.
There's a hoof of the pig that's staring back at you.
You don't eat it though, do you?
No, you have to suck out the stuff around it, the cartilage and stuff.
That's
not better.
Sucking on some toes. Hell yeah. Now we're talking. That's my kind of fucking meal.
If you think about it, it's
one thing
gross,
about me,
but they're so good. It's good. I've eaten all that stuff. It's just if you really think about it, we're not grossed out because we're used to eating it.
What's so gross about pig's feet? It's a fucking pig.
Go ask around.
If you don't know it's a foot, if it's just a carne.
Oh, you can see it's a foot.
Not if you take it off.
You see, se ven las pezuñas ahí,
Yeah,
Emmanuel.
sure, but
what do you
if
think
it's
that
just
is?
the
The
meat.
2 toes right there. What do you think it was?
I know it's the toes, but
Then?
I don't think that's gross because that's just an
And
animal.
pigs are gross. Like, have you seen a pig pen?
You're fucking racist, dude.
I think pigs know they're gross. They eat everything. Yes, they do.
Yeah, the ones we've had, the ones my grandpa had, I guess, in El Rancho. Yeah, they just had them in the
Comen
pen.
de todo.
Yeah, but you know
They're
you
like
have to
all
keep
in
them.
there.
You have to keep them contained because if you don't contain them, like their DNA changes. Y le
they get
salen-
wild?
They change like chapulines.
Well, they had
actually.
domesticated ones, but yeah.
They're the same ones.
I know, but what I mean is that the ones that we grew up with seeing.
The little pink ones, the little cute little pink
Dios.
ones.
I know.
they go-
Estaban bien feos. Like,
And they had big old balls. I always remember like, whoa, what the fuck, dude?
I wonder if they ever ate those. They had to make it in some
Probably.
chorizo or something, right?
I think that
Right? They gotta use because they
something.
used everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything.
yeah.
My mom. Okay, the worst experience I had. Well, those pig pens were smelly. Out of all the animals,
You didn't like it? I love the smell. The other day, Jonathan went to
No, they stunk.
Jonathan.
You could smell them from like you know.
And you don't
meters
like
away.
the smell?
No.
To me,
you never
there's-
passed by one of those big like farm, those like
Slaughterhouses.
ganaderos.
That's
the big
different.
ones where you like they're just there. Like you can smell it coming
well,
up.
a slaughterhouse is different than rancho smell.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
slaughterhouses,
How many
yeah,
did
that
your?
smells like
How many
death.
were in a pig pen? Do you remember? At your
We had a
grandpa's?
lot. Whatever.
Like
There
hundreds.
was a bunch.
or-
No. Probably like a dozen at a time.
Okay, that's
But
a
they had like
reasonable amount.
they had like different pens.
Oh,
like
no
concrete.
estaban amontonados, pues.
No,
it was
no,
a
no.
concrete. Les ponían like, did they have like the
In
dirt
little
and the mud
fences.
and the hay and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah, that's still smelly, Emmanuel.
but it doesn't smell bad. The other day my cousin came
It's
from
odor.
my cousin went
odorful.
to like somewhere in the suburbs. They have a rancho where you go to have pajaretes, which is like
I've never
fresh
heard that.
cow milk with tequila.
Are we just gonna talk about gross things?
Do you
I
think
don't
that?
I can?
Oh my gosh, this is. Oh, you know what I've been wanting to
You
do?
know what's happening? I don't want to hear it directly, and I keep taking these things
Like
off.
if it's
it
gonna
has
make
nothing.
a difference. Okay, look, you'll be fine. Hold my hand.
I don't want to touch up.
You'll be okay. Look,
No, it's not that I'm grossed out. I will eat all of that, and I will try it.
I'm not talking.
But that's my point. There's stuff that we eat that because I'm used to it. I'm like, I guess we're eating this now. I guess this is part of our culture, like menudo or sesos is another one.
I've never
Sesos
had
are cow
sesos.
brains.
What about blood curds? Is that blood curds?
Isn't that they use that for sausage, blood sausage?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that too.
Yummy.
Packaged in a nice little sausage, and
Well, mi
It's not
tia
fun.
makes it. Mi tia,
Really?
One of my aunts makes it. I want to
Lourdes?
stop saying names, but yeah, okay. Mi tia Lourdes makes
that's
it.
okay. She's a very good cook.
And
too bad for all of society
when
that she
she
doesn't have
does-
a restaurant. Because man,
Dude.
she's good, right?
Are you fucking kidding me?
She would crush it.
So, yeah.
Mm-mm.
So the other day, llegó one of my cousins. They went to get pajaretes, so they were on a ranch with cows and fucking pigs
Yeah.
and everything. And as soon as he got we were working in the garage, and when he got to the garage, I was like,
You could smell
something
him. can't
smells
you?
like rancho, dude. And he's like, oh yeah, we went to the pajaretes. I was like, oh my god, I loved. To me, there's no better smell than like entrando al rancho, like the smell of like the cow poop and the dirt and everything.
See,
That's
I don't
the
think cow
best
poop
smell.
and that kind of stuff is the bad smell. I don't think it smells.
Yeah, you're talking about like death. Death smells bad.
That smells bad.
Yeah, that's
But
a
no,
different thing.
the animal smell, it doesn't bother me. Like I think there was my grandmother's house. There was a caballeriza, like a small one, right next to the house. So there was sometimes there was a horse there or two. And
Fancy, you guys had horses.
to.
We didn't have horses.
No?
No.
Oh, we talked about
weren't
this.
that
We know
fancy.
that. But
Yeah.
anyway, let's move past that. The smell wasn't bad. And then in front of that, there was a whole like cage full of like birds, all different kinds of birds. My uncle used to collect them.
Wow.
There was like pichones,
What
what are
else?
the other birds? Doves,
birds.
different, I don't know if to call them varieties because I'm an ignorant person.
Parakeets.
No, just
Chinches?
like
That's a something
chinches?
else.
I think that's a bug.
Yeah. Yeah,
You look for those in the bed. Are those like bed bugs? Chinches?
maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, but the smell, they smell like what they smell, but they're not off-putting. That's the smell.
Yeah.
Right? And it's kind of mixed in with everything else. Like there was mesquites around and the nopales, and then there was, tenían un como sembradío right in front. So then you have like, there was always like corn. Usually it was corn. Yeah. Right? And all that smell. So then there's cow poop. There's like these little cow poop surprises as you go.
Yeah.
Do you know remember how it felt like? I'll never forget.
To step on it?
And slip.
I never
it was
fell
a rock.
on it. But
no, but you slip, right?
I've gotten shit on before. Straight just
no. Oh no.
By a cow.
What are you doing in the back of a cow?
I was on top of a truck, but the cow was just walking by, turned around, and literally I got splattered with cow shit.
My grossest memory of like animal memory is you know how they're very slobbery, the cows? Mm-hmm. Like one of them slobbered my hair. I remember when we were little.
He was giving you a little kiss.
No, that slobber is really gross. And they're really, yeah.
No, it's fine. It's cow saliva. We all have saliva.
Yeah, but it's kind of gross. Or like you know how in the San Miguel, the churches are all open air. We would be forced to go to church every Sunday and who knows, whenever they decided was a special day. And almost every one of us has a memory of like getting pooped on in church because the birds would just come in there.
Birds, that's hilarious.
You don't have that memory?
No, but I can imagine. Actually, I do remember.
You would go outside. You would be in the portales outside.
Yeah.
Las jardineras.
With your little stools.
Yes.
Right?
That's so fun.
I thought that's a beautiful, having taken your little stool. Yeah. My grandma had little fold-up stools that we would all take.
Mm-hmm. You'd always want the stool because then you would be stuck standing.
Yeah,
but then you had to give it was very rare because you had to leave the stool for the older ladies.
Church was popping, dude. It was packed. The church couldn't fill enough people. They had the whole patio de la church.
Yeah.
Was people.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's still
and
like
that was legit.
There.
Like, todavía te valía. You know how you would go, and as long as you were in there, even if you weren't inside the church, you could be outside, and that was still valid that you went to church.
I think
because you heard it.
As far as you heard it.
That was, I'm talking about the one that we would go to is el centro, ¿cómo se llama?
La parroquia de San Miguel.
De San Miguel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's the one we would go to too.
That's the one we would go to. Yeah, all of that's
where my grandma lived.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's
dude.
Fancy.
Yeah, I love all that. All those memories. It's so cool.
Memories to us. It's their everyday life.
Yeah.
True. I wonder if have you been lately to know if it's as full as it used to be?
I haven't been to San Mike in ages, dude. Probably at least 5 years, 6 years, I think.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since one of my cousins got married. Is the last time I went. But still, dude, like, I think
it doesn't count because it's for a wedding, right? But I want to know if the regular.
But I didn't go. She didn't get married in San Mike. She got married in Aguascalientes.
Oh, well, there was one recently. There was a wedding
in San Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
my dad went, and a few other people from here went. Yeah,
I know because of Facebook.
Oh, you do?
But I don't know who they. I know them. I never. Yeah. I don't know if I ever hung out with them. Really.
Well, you probably when you were little, but it's probably their mom.
Yeah, I know. Because
she's your.
I know their mom for sure,
right. Mm-hmm.
And
she was like Yolis's BFF growing up too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I haven't been to San Mike in such a long time, so I don't know. I wonder if it's still that. I don't want to say crazy because then you're going to judge me for it. Not crazy.
I already judged
you. That still, if the whole church culture is still that intense.
I'm curious. I'm going to ask.
Because
or one of you that's over there.
Who's over there?
Let me know.
I don't think we have any listeners from San Miguel.
Oh, we could.
Who?
They speak English, some of them.
I mean, I don't know anybody.
Las primas jóvenes, don't they make them learn English?
I don't know if I have any cousins in San Miguel other than Beto now. And I don't, other than...
The ones that just got married. And all of her sisters are your cousins.
Oh, I don't know them, though. I'm not going to fucking reach out to
family.
them. I don't fucking know them. That's
I will.
Great.
But I think I'm the tia for them.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So, what's up? How you been? We're 30 minutes in.
We are?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we're talking about gross things now in our culture.
Yeah. I don't think... Do you think menudo's gross?
I love it.
To people that don't know, you think?
Yes. I want to be realistic. Like I would, if I gave someone menudo, I would warn them what it is. I think it's a courtesy to say this is delicious, but it is. It's tripe. Who eats tripe? It's not a normal staple
it's
here.
It's not tripe. It's stomach. Isn't it different? Stomach lining is different than tripe.
Por allá va la cosa. It's all connected. It's your innards. It's part of the innards. It's not better. Like it's not like somebody's gonna say, "Oh no, I'm not gonna have tripas. Only menudo."
I don't like tripas.
What?
Yeah, tripas, and it's more like I can't have liver either. Liver.
I don't like liver either, but liver either. Okay, that's not true because I had once. I think it's just overcooked. It dries up. Yeah, I think if it wasn't overcooked, I would like it more. I had one time. I had like raw venison heart, like from a recently killed animal.
Liberals, get her.
I know.
Get her, liberals. Thinking,
how do I say this? Like the animal's dead. Like we eat meat. Surprise. Okay, so I'm not going to eat it alive. So then I had. So it's an organ, right? It was a heart, and heart also I found always very dry. So if it was being served, it's not the flavor; it's the like dryness. This one was so good. Yeah. So good.
White people know how to cook gamey food, dude.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, because the hunting culture here is
pretty that was pretty good. It really opened my eyes to it. And it was just, first of all, it looked fresh and yummy of this heart, right? This raw heart. It just looked so good.
You saw the heart? Or was it like...
No, it was already processed. But it doesn't matter. Like
it's like pumping and shit, yeah.
No, I wouldn't do that. That's Aztec style. Did they used to do that? Or like the Native Americans here? I don't know. Be surprised. Which tribe used to do that?
All of them.
A lot of them, right?
I think, I don't know if they ate them, but for sure the Aztecs used to like pull it out while they were alive, right? Like that's in that scene, my knowledge of that comes from Apocalypto, where they just like cut the fucking this dude's body, and it's like pumping.
Oh, well, there was there's some sacredness and power that was attached to the heart that wasn't, like in the ancient Egyptians, they used to save the heart and toss the brain, right?
Really?
Yeah.
So the brain was nothing. The heart was the one that was important.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's also
really
interesting.
The heart is a representation of what's going on in here, if you think about it, right? So it's not like it's useless, our hearts. Yeah. It's not like it wouldn't be sacred, but I find it funny that the brains are like, meh. I mean, we didn't know. They didn't know.
That's fascinating. Maybe they did know, and they know more than we did. There's this...
Probably not about the brain, though.
You don't know.
They tossed it. They were reverent, and so I can imagine that it wouldn't be like source of knowledge. Psh, they wouldn't do that.
But what if it's not? No. What if the brain is literally just an antenna for collecting the shit? You
went there.
I think that's.
Tell me more about this antenna we have.
Isn't it? It is. It is. I mean, do you think that the brain? What's the brain? Is the brain the one that comes up with the ideas, or is the brain the kind of what is able to perceive?
What if it's both? What if at the end, once the very, very smart people who are not you and me end up doing the research and realizing that, like, we already know that we can perceive things, right? That's not new. We get that. Mm-hmm. But what if it's both? What do you want to do, the one or the other? We don't know, first of all. Yeah. We know that our brain is what controls everything in our body. It's an input-output, right? For sure.
Yeah, sounds like an antenna, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I think, I'm not saying no to that, but it makes more sense that it has more of a, I know. Sorry.
You say,
I don't even know how to do that, except for that. It was like, if I tried to, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yeah.
What happened?
You just said a little.
It's AI telling me
you don't know shit about the brain.
I learned it all. You don't know anything, and they would be right.
They would be right. Isn't that insane? That's how we started talking about AI taking over the world, and we ended up with nasty cow lining stomach shit.
I don't think we're equipped to talk about AI in a real way. We can talk about it in a way that's conceptual based on our limited knowledge. And it's if you put our collective knowledge like from a 0 to 10 the most brilliant minds, the creators of, etc.
We're probably at around a 9.
Negative.
Oh.
-9.
No.
Yes,
I
we
don't
are.
know,
We don't
dude.
know anything. We end up doing. We end up talking about things we don't know.
Yeah, isn't that the whole point of
And I
every
resist.
podcast? Isn't
I
that
don't
what
know. I
every
wanna-
podcast is about?
I don't want to talk about AI in depth. I will talk about AI.
I wanna know-
But I recognize that I'm limited.
I want to
in
know
what I can say about it.
I want to know what
We're
do
data for
you
AI.
think?
We're not. We're data.
you're a data.
You're a data.
I want to know what you think our grandparents would think about AI. It's the devil,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yes.
It's like think about this. It's like
They would think
it's
that.
literally. I mean, you could put the metaphor together. It's so easy. It's like the Antichrist. It's a birth without
It's an end of time
conception.
sign. In their view, it would be. It might be It depends on the grandparent, right? With some grandparents, it depends on their level of education. So I don't think it would.
No.
Yes, I do think so. So it depends on that, right? But
I disagree.
I think if you want to bring religion into everything, because that's your framework for meaning,
Yeah.
then we don't have to go that far. I think people in our own cultures now might think that's the sign of end of times. We're taking God out of everything. Do you know what I mean? Like I could see how they would think that now.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't believe we're talking about God and AI. Really?
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. I can't help but make the connection.
And we started it.
I did. I can't help it. It does
Really?
sound like some. Yeah, it's the fucking apocalypse coming to destroy humanity.
Does that resonate with you in that you are open to the possibility of that being so? Or is
Yeah.
it that, I can see how this is going to be a topic of conversation now in certain circles?
No, I think that it's a possibility that is what's happening. I think that there are.
It's like Y2K all over again.
Yeah.
Why are we having this conversation again?
Because it's crazy. It's a crazy thing that we're living in. You know what I'm saying? How could you not talk about it? I tried to build a
Yeah, but why
website
do we have to equate it with the apocalypse? Why? Why
because
do we do that?
it's the end of human. You're gonna get to a point where you don't have to come up with anything anymore. It's like the computer's gonna be like, oh, this is what you want, and it's kind of already there.
Yeah.
It's already coming up for shit for you. It's like you don't have to think. Again, I wanted to build a website. Hey, let me build a website for you. I know what you want. No, hell no. Get out of here, dude. That's creepy. That's
Which
the
one were
creepiest shit.
you? Don't say who.
Square.
Oh.
That one.
I know which one.
Yeah.
I know which one.
Squadabadibu.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I was like,
Mhm. I use
no,
them a lot,
thank you.
actually.
I will build it myself. I
Mhm.
appreciate you, Satan, but not today.
You know what they do though? I know. I think I went through a process for them once. You just basically tell them what you want, like what you're using it for. You answer a bunch of questions, and they set up a framework using their existing templates. You know what I mean? I don't
Right.
think it's
The devil?
or like autocorrect and those kind of things are in some ways AI, right?
Very limited.
We don't know. See what
AI.
we're saying, Emmanuel? We're talking about shit we don't
But the thing about
know.
artificial intelligence is that it
No.
is kind of it has the ability to mimic human emotion. That's the difference. And it's like you have AI that says that it's sentient, that says that it's aware, and it's like that. Like I've read about people like asking AI where they came from and stuff, and they describe like, well, I see this light, kind of, if I can describe it in a certain way, like if it's they're
Or they're
describing
trying
a
to
soul or
communicate
something.
in terms of our language. That's
Yeah.
the input they have.
Yeah, sure.
So in a sense, just saying that in and of itself is an ignorance that we've given them because we're limited in the way that we think.
Same thing. You see exactly. So if we're sentient,
What are we
why
doing there?
can't they be sentient? Do you know what I'm saying? You're literally saying you're like me estás dando la razón with that. You know what I mean? You're arguing that yes, it can be sentient.
Yeah, but why would they want to be? I think that they're too.
Why would we want to be? You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
think we know. We just are. That's the problem. This is
And
our.
so is
We're
AI.
animals. We're animals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Living
up
in a
to
natural
degree.
world.
Just a small town girl in a small town world.
What song is that?
I don't know. Don't Stop Believing.
Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah.
It's one of the American
For all the
songs I
whiteys
know.
out there.
Brothers. Oh, we can't. Not brothers, right? What do we call? Peace Man, bruh. What are
We'll be right back.
say? I was.
Yeah, I don't know. I find all that
know.
I find all that AI shit so fascinating. To
It
me,
is.
it does seem like a force trying to peer through, and they finally have something. We have finally created some. Let's say, for an example, if we are an experiment from some higher being,
Yeah.
whether it's aliens or God,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck you want to call it, or
Okay, Emmanuel. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I don't
Spill it.
want to. No,
Ya
what,
empezaste.
so it's like if we're created to see if we can, so we can create something for them to come through, and
Like
it's
a portal.
finally here. You call it a portal.
Don't you think they'd be sitting up wherever they are? Where are these people you're talking about?
I don't know.
Okay,
in
whatever
another
realm, being
dimension.
like, hurry up already. Yeah, I don't think if they're that smart that they would need us. They'd be waiting on us for a portal.
But what
Emmanuel.
if it's something for them to see if we are capable of coming to
that's
their
my
realm?
point. We aren't capable. Most of us
So far,
aren't.
we're
This is
not.
a handful
Right.
of people who have figured out AI. Not us, not you and me.
Yeah.
So if the idea is that you're waiting for us to evolve as a species, we're not there yet, my friends. Let me tell you. We're still eating. Emmy feels dirt. Okay.
You don't feel dirt?
I will eat a
I'll go back to
chapulín
that.
crushed in a margarita, yet not whole. What is that? No, we're not
That's
evolved.
crazy, dude.
Think
I think
about
we
it.
are, dude. I think we are. There are levels to consciousness, for sure. Are you saying you think you are just as conscious and aware as the turtle? You know what I'm saying? There's levels to this shit. And
I don't understand the turtle's level of consciousness to even compare.
But I
to
think
me,
you
that's
can.
a false argument.
I don't think it's false.
It's like comparing a foot to, I don't know, your eyeball. Like they have different functions. How are you going to compare?
Like
You know
that.
what I mean? No.
One can do this and the other can do
there's
that.
no point of the argument. You're trying to murky the waters. Let's go back to the AI people and who are supposedly, now that that's the one thing they were waiting for. Oh, finally they figured out AI. Let's all get in there now. No.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
Maybe.
Because it's not they.
You don't
it's a
know,
handful
though.
of people. I
You
don't
don't
know.
know.
And neither do you.
But
Like they're not going to come for you and me.
hopefully,
Who's this they anyway?
hopefully,
look like
I don't know,
this other being.
extra dimensional beings. That's what people call angels or demons or all of this shit.
They call anything demons or angels.
Who's
As
they?
in,
You're the
we
one saying
humans.
they.
There was comments. There's instances all over the world of comets being being described as demons, fiery, which makes sense during the time with what we know. Now we know they're not demons, but it's only because we have the tools to know what they are.
Right.
Because if we
Now-
didn't have them, we'd be the ignorant.
Don't spill on the equipment, please. Settle down. Angels and demons are
know why this
real,
is-
and they're trying to get through AI.
So you believe that angels and demons are real?
I believe they're real as forces, not as physical entities that's like singular things, but as a force.
But you still see them as entities. You still believe there's independent of one another entities.
I think
that
they
are
could be.
demons.
I don't know if I believe, but
Angels.
I'm so open
Angels.
to that being real.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're open to it being real, but you admit that you don't know.
No, I don't know.
Okay, that's my
but-
point. We don't know.
So
So what are we doing?
Trying to
talking
figure
about
it
We're
out.
not going to figure it out, Emmanuel. We're not going to figure it out. That's the problem. Where did
I
we
think
stop?
this is what's happening.
Where did we?
I think this is a former pothead conversation, and you're not a pothead. So you
can
just
have
you're
the
like you're
conversation
fucking
just the
crazy.
same.
You're crazy. That's it. You're like you're
You're
smoked.
not high right now either.
Not anymore. But who
No, I think you just not went. I think you're midway through your logic, because you can go there and think about that, but at the end of the day, we don't know.
Yeah.
So then
But at
that's the end. The end. We don't know. And why are we
end.
uncomfortable with that? Why can't we just admit that we don't know anything?
Right, but then that's why you talk about it to kind of
Yes, but if you're going to talk to me, we're going to talk about that. We better end with the we don't know.
We'll get that. We'll get there in about 20 more minutes.
No, I think that's why people get frustrated with me if
Yeah,
I try to talk
100%.
about them with about their religion.
Yeah.
This is why we get.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna get
You're
it.
a party pooper.
Right now, I'm kind of thankful that none of the
Hollywood elite are
conservative
listening.
family members listen to us because I might get in trouble.
No
I think
way.
I get in trouble, but
You mean all of them?
I wouldn't want to offend. I think that it's possible. I get advice on. I wouldn't call it advice. I get told to do religious things once in a while by different people.
Like the
I think
baptism.
there might be
we
a
went
campaign.
to turn you?
Not just me, people that aren't going to church every Sunday or don't believe in the Catholic Church doctrine, etc.
Yeah.
I think there might be an effort to
turn you?
No. I don't know if it's a turn. Do you think they would say turn? I don't know what it is. I don't know where they're coming from. I think they're doing the
They think
good
it's
thing.
good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the basics. I think
Yeah.
that's where that's.
Yeah, I mean, I get it all the time too, but it's okay.
Where do you get it from? I know.
For everyone.
Everyone.
Same thing. I get random
we
emails from aunts that I don't
Really?
talk to. Just sending me, hey, church.
Really?
Not emails, sorry, like direct messages of like God
Yeah.
posts. But I think it's cool. I appreciate it because I
Yeah.
know where it's coming from. I'll look at it and I'll be like, cool. Anyways,
I don't find it reassuring, and I also don't find it annoying. I don't see the point of it. Like I'm an adult person, and I don't if I don't know a person and they're giving me something,
I'm still
like,
close
why are
enough
you-
to them, I'm saying.
You are?
Yeah. I mean, if I were to see
Like
this
I
person.
appreciate the prayers because I think that's a very sincere sentiment, right?
Uh-huh.
But
You
if
don't
somebody
take-
tells me I have to go to church every Sunday,
Well, the way I hear
that's a
it,
different thing.
the way I hear it is, I think if you go to church, it'll be good for you. They
Me
might
too.
say it in different words, but that's what they mean. At the end of the day, that's what matters. What do they mean? What's their intention? The intention is, I think it'll benefit you if you take an hour
Okay.
every week
So,
to dedicate to whatever the
let's-
fuck this
okay,
God
let's go there.
thing
Let's
is.
think that through.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
How messed up do they think I am
We all
where
are.
they need to give me that advice?
But I think the idea
But
is...
they're not giving themselves that advice. Like they're not giving themselves that advice. Like I'm not giving them advice on what to do. They're an adult. They're adults. You know what I mean? Why is it? It's a little bit like I know better than you. Like, oh, something's
I
wrong
don't think so.
with you, so you got to go to church.
I don't think so. I don't think that's
Really?
where it's coming from because they would tell you...
Or they really think that you need it or you're going to be ousted from
'Cause
heaven.
Because I could
That's
tell you
one of the
this.
two. I would prefer that it comes from a place where they're actually worried about my soul versus, oh, you need to go to church.
I don't know. I don't think it's that.
No?
No, for sure. Look,
know.
and it's because I live in
gonna
both
find out.
worlds. I live in both realities. Whereas where I can see why it's super good to dedicate it at least an hour out of your week to introspection. I guess.
Yeah.
And I also live in I'm not gonna go to fucking church. That's crazy.
Do you go to church?
No.
What are
But
we doing here, Emmanuel? What?
what do you mean?
Why are
What
you
we doing? We're
advocating
talking
for
about it.
something that you're not
I'm
doing?
not advocating for going to church. I'm advocating for their intentions in telling you that you should go to church.
Okay.
And I'm not saying you should listen to them. Or I should listen to them. I'm just saying
I hear you.
their intentions are.
But you don't know what their intentions are.
I'm pretty sure their intentions are it's good for you. That's what they think. All they think is that it's good for you. And I think I think if you were to ask them, do you think you're better than me? That's why you're telling me this? They would probably say, no. I mean, I'm just as bad as you. It's just I find benefit in doing it, and it helps me.
Have you had that conversation with? I don't think that's true of everyone. I think that's true of some people, but I also think there are some people where not everyone. I'm not saying who this is, by the way, so don't even ask me. So I do think that there are some people that find it's like, well, I'm going to tell them to go to church because that's the right thing to do. Do you know what I mean? I think some of them come from it in that way, and some of them do not. Some of them, as you say, for sure, I can tell, that they're coming from a good
holier than thou. You think a lot
spot.
of them.
I think that there's both. I think that there's both.
Most, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is.
I have had experiences of people where I talk about it. By it, I mean the religion, the religion, the doctrine of the Catholic Church, not the spiritual aspect of it, but the
you got to give me some time
doctrine
for my little jokes.
I have a delay now. It's not even Monday. We can't even blame it that it's Monday. It's not Monday.
Shout out to Garfield.
¿Y por qué? The cat. You see, delay.
Yeah,
I'll get it tomorrow. I'll text you later. There's See, now I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to fix it all for you all, and now I forgot. Thanks, Emmy.
You were talking about people.
Wisdom.
No. You were talking. Yeah, wisdom. You were talking.
What we're saying.
You were talking about the intentions. You said people that their intentions aren't. They're looking out for you. Whatever.
There have been moments where I've had conversations that are enlightening and exploratory, and it's I don't feel judged about what I believe or don't believe. Okay. And then there are those where I can tell that something is that I'm saying is
it's a little
affecting them, where it's like, wait a minute, what do you mean you don't believe? Like there's a fear there. And then there's other instances where I feel like I'm in a gotcha conversation, where they're just waiting to say, aha, that's why you're good at church. And this is very simplistic.
Sounds like projection to me. I think you're projecting hard as fuck.
No, I don't do that with people. I don't. If I have a conversation about it, in fact, if I see that it goes that way, I don't need to convince anyone. I'm not trying to convince anyone.
Tell me more.
I don't have a certain doctrine. I don't have a religion.
And I'll tell you that it's your projection. Tell me more. What happened?
Is that something you learned on
church?
TikTok?
What?
The projection.
No. I learned it from a YouTube video, so it's a little more educational.
Oh, YouTube, that is legit.
Yeah. No, I think, I don't know, man. I think it's, there are definitely some people who just want to prove that they're right.
Yeah.
Those people are out there. But those people don't matter. You know what I'm saying? That who gives a fuck about the people that's their intentions? Who gives a fuck? Really, who cares? If that's what you think.
If they're in the family, again, I'm not saying who. I'm not saying they're family from here or San Miguel or wherever. I'm not saying where these people are from. Okay, I'm just saying in the course of my very long life, I've encountered these different scenarios. Million years. Okay, and I'm not saying even here. Okay, but they're not gonna.
Nobody's listening. It's okay. Keep going.
I wouldn't want to offend anyone.
Fuck everybody, dude.
No, I don't want to offend them.
Oh, okay. I love everybody.
But I do get that. I do think that. Why do we even talk about this?
Why not? What else is there to talk about? Isn't this what the fuck the podcast is about? Just talking? We're talking.
This feels very
I think you're uncomfortable right now because you don't like being wrong about God. God is real, Marty, and you're going to hell. I don't know what else to tell you.
I don't want to talk about things we don't know about.
But we don't know anything. If that's the point,
true.
If that's the perspective, then why are we even talking? It's more one of the let's just sit and feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's a good point. It's just I'm very aware right now that we live, maybe this is the point, right, of why we should do this for AI. If this is just for AI and what you're saying is true, that we're going to be done for, fine. Then
giving them all our weaknesses. Right now, AI is saving clips of every time I made a homophobic joke for the inevitable canceling.
He or she or they.
Don't listen to this guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm very aware that if we're talking about the family, that I could offend people that I love. And I don't want to do that. That's not my point. But I can speak for myself. I know that in the way I live my life and what I've come to believe is not in alignment with how we were brought up. So there's a certain level of I know they love me, but I'm not the example for that. You know what I mean? I'm not I don't know if the word would be fully accepted because we'd have to ask them because I know that I'm loved. It's not a love thing, but it's I I could.
You're
There's
a
probably
lost
a little
lamb.
bit of judgment.
You're
and
a lost
little bit
lamb.
of yeah.
Yeah, and so but they don't. I don't know if there's judgment, dude.
But I don't feel lost. So then I don't feel lost. In regard to
when you've
spirituality or any none of that. I don't feel that at all. I don't feel lost. In fact, I feel very much
if you're at
peace. If I think about spirituality, in fact, I've been thinking about death a lot, and we've talked about it already. In the what was that? The grief episode, we talked about it.
Yeah, link down below.
Yeah. So, and I don't know how that's going to be with death, but like I don't mind talking about death. I feel very.
Do you think it all comes from death? Like that?
I think that's a good question. You mean our belief systems?
Well, let's say for us specifically, how we were brought up. Do you think it comes from a fear of what's happening after death we don't know, so we make up these things? Or do you think that there's actual wisdom to this being a kind of framework as to how you can live your life in a probably productive way? I mean, it's just the language.
Well, any framework is going to be useful, even in a cult. Framework is going to be productive and useful.
Do you think we're in a cult? Do you think our family is a cult?
No.
Okay. No. Just wanted to get you
No,
there.
but if we... do I have to say it? I guess I do have to say it. No, we're not in a cult. But I don't think that a belief system in and of itself should be protected just for the sake of its doctrine. Got me?
Say that again?
Yeah, a belief... I know, but I have to say it again from...
No, say that again.
It was kind of brilliant, Emmanuel.
No, say it again. Say it again.
A belief system, I don't think a belief system should be adhered to just for the sake of, like, that framework shouldn't be protected just for the sake of its own, like, survival.
Right. So there's this story.
I think that's different than serving us as humans. A framework is only useful if it's healthy and helpful.
Yeah, and like applicable to real world situations, and also, for the reason of that, not for the reason of using it in a productive way for yourself, for your loved ones, and
that's
your community
what we think, right?
And shit, right?
But that's not what it is. If we talk about the doctrine that we were taught, that's the Catholic Church's doctrine, and the Roman Catholic Church, right? So then it's a very specific set of doctrines.
Okay.
Doctrines, is that a plural?
Doctrinu.
It's there's laws and there's all kinds of, there's viewpoints, there's belief systems that you, in and of itself, if you don't believe in this, you're not Catholic. Because Catholics believe there's a creed.
I think that's if you look at it in a very...
And they make you repeat it in church.
Tell me, right, but that's just, sure, that's one way.
Do you repeat it when you go?
It can be seen, yeah, of course. Because
you believe everything you say when you say the
metaphorically, yes. I don't believe in like, if you look at it in the way that I feel, like, you can take it in a productive way if you want to.
Sure.
I believe in God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth, of all things that are unseen, of seen and unseen. I believe in Jesus Christ, his only... I guess we could break it down, right? The whole, like, belief in that whole part. God, his only... whatever.
You're okay with the gist of it.
I think I try to take the good in those things, because there is definitely still, I mean, I think, yes, it has been used to control people and shit, but we're already here, right? Might as well, might as well see what's good is there, and then get rid of all the shitty things like eternal damnation and shit. And I'm not saying get rid of it.
That's part of our doctrine. That's part of the incentive as to why you go to church, why you have to live a good life, it's to your benefit, because there's this, if you won't be saved.
Sure, but
that's like a basics.
Right, but let's say why don't you look at it in a way of like eternal life it is just this thing called humanity that has just been fucking going on forever. When you die, you're going to live eternally through whatever the fuck is coming next.
Sure.
So you know what I'm saying?
But that's not what the teaching is.
Well,
right? I get what you're doing, but you're experiencing that doctrine and you're personalizing it.
No, I mean,
that's not what I'm talking about. We live in a culture where we're not supposed to. We're supposed to live in the doctrine that we were taught. We're not supposed to change it to your fitting.
I don't know if I'm changing it. I don't know if I'm changing it. I mean, because have you heard of like the Dead Sea Scrolls? And they kind of talk about how Christianity, like its original thing, it was like a psychedelic cult. Essentially, it It was like a mushroom cult when people would get together,
Well, see, those
get high.
doctrine, okay, so that's the problem, Emmanuel. You and I can talk about that.
But that's where it comes from.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You and I
That's
could talk
the core.
about that separately. But my point is that that's not even a conversation that can be that would be accepted.
I've had those conversations with my mom, dude.
And does she believe you?
100%. She's
She
like, no,
believes
yeah,
it.
I understand that. It came from this, and they started taking things from other people and to build this thing that, yes, a lot of times it was used for bad things, but the core of it at the end of the day, there still is something powerful and wise within that.
Sure, but every religion can claim that, Emmanuel.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't think that the
And again, somebody who doesn't identify as a Catholic religiously, it's just how I grew up.
It is how
Yeah.
we grew up. And if
And-
somebody asks me, I say I have it in my blood. Like, I don't think you can, in the way that we were brought up, you can't. It's in your blood almost. It's like it's part of our identity.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that we have these beautiful memories of going to church and San Miguel.
That's not beautiful. I mean, the community of it was
The
cool.
way that the viejitas
of being there.
smelled. I hope they showered by now, but they did. There was like a smelly, you want to steer
Wow,
clear.
you're
Like
so
there's
rude.
a part of the culture
So rude, buddy.
that's messed up. But then it's cool. Like they had
And
can
you say
still
that
see-
they're judging you. Look at you saying that. Jesus Christ.
I'm sure they judged us when we went as we were the outsiders, like the way we dressed, the way we comported ourselves. And, you know, I'm sure it's a judgy culture. I mean,
Nah.
no.
I plead the fifth on that. I'm not going to talk shit.
We went to a
that.
baptism.
You moved the light, dude. You ruined it. Ruined it. Now the shot is ruined. We have to start all over.
That's our sign that I shouldn't talk about
You
what
shouldn't
happened
talk
at the
shit.
baptism.
What happened at the baptism
No,
when
I'm
they
not telling you now.
raised the baby
Oh,
and
no,
you
no.
leaned into me and you
No,
said
shut
it's
up.
like the Lion King. Yes,
think
Maddie,
that
it's
when
like
you
the
saw
Lion
that?
King. I didn't.
I've
but
never seen a priest do that
spot on.
before.
Beautiful.
I'd never seen a priest do that
They
before,
literally
and
did-
that's what came to mind.
They literally did
He
the Lion
literally
King
did
thing.
the thing.
No, but not just that. They put the water on the baby's head, just like Simba getting the thing.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
part
then
of it.
they lifted the baby,
That's right.
and then they passed it on to the godparents. It's a cool thing, actually. I don't.
Oh, I don't think it was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful ceremony, but also it was a little Lion King. They had Lion King moments. He had a Lion King moment, and I don't want to say because I don't want to say it too much because I love that baby. Hold on.
You literally said like this.
I keep moving. You got to stop moving.
So what were you
Cut
gonna
it. I don't know. I was gonna tell you an example of how we are in church, right? We each separately. We weren't the only families there, all right. And then there was a bunch of us. Let's pause here because I might decide to cut this depending on how bad this makes us look. Mark it.
Oh, 1 for 105. Yeah.
All right. There was this family there and a couple. And there was this one person that was dressed a certain way, walking a certain way.
Pause.
I know you
and
know
let's
what I'm talking about.
let's cut a clip to where Madi says that she was the one that's being judged. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm saying we're judgy people. So then here's what the first thing that came to mind, like all my upbringing was like, estamos en misa.
Why are you dressed
Why
like
is she
that?
dressed like that? That's not how you're supposed to dress to church. And I'm like,
Have you been
but
to
at the
church in
same
San Miguel, dude?
time, yeah, but not lately. So then at the same time, I was thinking that I'm like, why do we do that? Like, who cares? This girl showed up and she's dressed that way. Who cares? Moved on with my life. The person that was sitting next to me also saw, I knew it just from our upbringing that she felt the same way because I saw her. She was like this and she took a deep breath and did something. She didn't even say anything and I just knew it. And I mentioned to her,
God, please forgive her
I'm like,
for being
no
a
estés
slut.
criticando en misa. And
You
she
you said that?
Yep. And I knew I was right because she did. That's not the end of the story. Later, but she did later. I found out she was doing the same thing. She was like, I am not going to say why are we like. I mean, it's natural to judge, right? Okay. And then I went to 2 other houses that day. Each and every
look at
one of
you.
them, all the
Humble
people
brag.
that were there that I talked to, knew exactly who the person we were talking about, and they thought the same thoughts in different ways.
Yeah.
Like some of them, you know what I mean? So no estábamos en misa. We were there criticizing. Like we were all of it. We weren't just there
First
for
of
the
all-
spiritual thing. We
first
weren't
of
just
all-
there for that. We were there for that, and we also were judging.
It wasn't.
We also were.
It wasn't a mass. It was just a baptism ceremony.
Yeah.
Second of all, We weren't talking about the baby's baptism. You were talking about the
I don't mind the
whore.
Wasn't. Here's what I thought. I'm going to tell you what I thought, so you know what I was thinking. It wasn't a judgment. It was like I was looking at the way she was dressed. She was so skinny, but she had a gut. So my first thought, and she was like very gaunt. So I'm like, is she on drugs? That was my judgy moment. I was thinking, oh my God, this girl, is she okay in life? I looked at her partner. I'm like, is he abusive?
I don't think.
I was thinking of all kinds of things in my head. That's what I was thinking.
You know what I thought? I thought this girl's 15. Why is she dressed like that? She was clearly a fucking kid.
I was talking about.
Of course, everyone did. She was the only one dressed like a whore in church.
She wasn't a whore. I didn't think she was dressed like a whore.
I don't think she was dressed like a whore.
But I do think she was the way that she was
scandalous
carrying herself, and like I'm like, that's messed up. But you know how when you do drugs, like you don't have a good gut, probably, right? Is what I'm thinking.
She was,
and then
kid,
she
though.
looked like she had ojeras, but then that's what I was thinking. Like, I have ojeras. I'm not doing drugs, you know. So what am I doing? Assuming
you're
that
just
she's
judging,
having
dude.
this.
You're
I was
doing,
judging.
See, remember earlier when I told you this is all a big projection?
Yeah.
Here you go. You're the one that's judging.
We all do it. We all judge.
No, I don't remember the last time I've judged.
You just did it. You just called that girl
a whore.
You noticed it.
I noticed it.
I think we're taught to. I think. I mean, you're one of the worst ones, man. Don't even.
For what?
For judging and talking about people.
You? I never talk about.
You openly love
anyone.
Gossip. Openly.
Damn, and it's on a public podcast.
That's
now.
right.
It's published already.
Yeah, you admitted that you loved it. I mean, as part of our culture. You know, so then to me to give someone advice to me when like at a certain point, the advice you give someone, if somebody asks you for advice, hey, I'm trying to get closer to God, I'm trying to be more spiritual, then it opens a door to somebody asking you, well, you might want to go to church. But if I'm not expressing a need and I'm not in the gutter somewhere, like I'm living all right, what could you possibly think to tell me?
Well, you have everything, right? The last now the last thing you need is a relationship with your Lord.
Yeah, but what do they know?
Jesus Christ.
I think it's an assumption, right? Like, I think it's like I don't know. I'm in the. I think I've been getting it a lot, so then I'm a little like.
Yeah, you get a little defensive a little bit. I don't know. I just.
Like, what are you trying to say? How messed up am I?
I don't know. My interpretation, like, I just think that at its core, there's something beneficial to all of that shit. So I just think that it's not. I don't think, at least in my family, though, everyone that has told me, I don't think a single person has told me you should go to church out of arrogance, out of I'm better than you. I think if I were to take it that way, I would fucking drive myself crazy, dude.
No, but I don't take it that way from everyone. It's just depending on who it is.
And when it is, when it is somebody like that, you just dismiss it because you know the people that have offered that out of, you know, without even asking, you know, it's still a good intention, you know, like it's
I don't think you know. You don't even know who I'm.
No, I don't know.
I'm talking about.
I don't know. I guess if you're talking about someone specifically, then yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That person sucks. And
no, they do not. That's the thing. They don't. And you know what I mean?
But that
I
sucks.
think in desperation,
that sucks.
When they're the desperation is, there's like a desperation there of like this responsibility they have of having me live my life a certain way in the way that they were taught, and they were, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But again,
and they feel like it's a good thing. Like if like it makes me think that it's more about them than me. That's what I think. I think it's more about them doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Then if it's going to be, because they don't really know what my journey has been.
But at the end of the day,
they don't know what I'm thinking. Because if they did want to know, they could ask me.
Yeah.
And even if I've taught, do you know what I mean? It's
sure.
not about me. I think it's more about them.
But at the end of the day, if it's for your own good, it's because they care about you. It's still a parental figure that is looking at you as you know, one of the kids in the family. At the end of the day, and I know you're 57 years old.
You're thinking you're not. It's
not
no.
I'm just saying a parental figure in the family.
You know what I think is funny too? That out of the two of us, they'd probably be surprised that you're the one that's defending it. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Well, see, because I guess when it's somebody that is
Emmanuel is on the right track.
When it's somebody that is,
No te van a decir.
I'm still not gonna go to church though, so don't get
No,
excited.
you just have to stop evoking Satan, and you're going to be fine.
Sure, yeah. I think when it is, I can agree with you when it's like, if it was one of the cousins telling me that shit, I was like, bro, shut the fuck up, dude, or not. You know, I don't know.
I don't think they would say because they're. I don't know what they do.
If I think again, if it's, I just think if it is a little, it would be a little annoying if it's like we're of the same.
Basically,
we're
for
at
the same generation.
Yes, of the
What are you
same
doing?
level of generation. Yeah. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
I can see why it's why it would be annoying. So yeah. I guess this whole time I was just thinking, like, if it's like an aunt or a mom,
yeah,
I get it. You know, like I would never, like, I have all these crazy thoughts in my head how I see that there is a benefit to all of this shit. Not that I follow it, but there is. I see that there can be.
Yes, no, I see that too. Of course, it's
I
very
would
reassuring.
I would never go to one of the cousins. Hey man, you got to go to church, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would do it as a joke, of course, but like when I text you or I call you sometimes on Sunday.
Now
it's
we're
like,
gonna say that to each other.
I was like, "Have you gone to church?"
Next time I come to you when I'm like, "Oh my God, this is happening," because well, I'll do that, right? And you will too. We'll try to process something that's happening in conversation. That's what's gonna be in our rotation of what you got to do.
Go to church.
Go to church.
But it's true. And I'll be like, yeah, it's true. Thank you.
Well,
thank you for telling me. Now I will not still.
I'm back and forth about how that is. And now I know why we started talking about this, because we were talking about
AI and the unknown.
AI and the known, and that they were devils and angels.
Yeah.
Coming through.
Yeah.
As if devils and angels needed AI. They've been appearing for years, so that logic doesn't jive either.
Damn, bro.
Doesn't track, man.
Damn, you just broke my whole fucking theory then.
Get your next theory, though. It's going to be good. I can feel it.
Fuck. You really did.
That's my point, Emmanuel. We don't know. Like, I think that some of those things are exciting to go through of what if this is this, what if it's that. But if you really the logic of it doesn't match. It doesn't track.
Haven't there been...
doesn't jive.
Isn't like some of the stories in the Bible about angels... Like they're describing these crazy things that can be looked at as alien, kind of. All the eyes and it's shining and it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it can be seen as a UFO. You know what I mean? So maybe the UFOs have been there.
Well, they've been described. Angels are very specifically described with human characteristics, like
because
body
that's how
parts.
we know how to describe
it.
But that's how we know how to describe it. That's how back then they knew how to describe it.
We don't know that. You weren't there.
Oh, Marty, I was there. I've been around for eternity, dude. You don't know this. So have you. You just forgot.
Mm-hmm.
You forgot.
That doesn't jive with our upbringing either. How are you going to explain that one? How are you going to explain reincarnation in the way that we were brought up?
Try me. How would you ask?
How has that conversation gone with your mom, for example?
Let me think about it.
And do you think she's just, because of... do you think it's possible she might just be throwing you a bone and just being like, yes, I can see how you're trying to like say yes so that she can convince you of the other thing? You know what I mean? Which I think is more likely.
I don't think so.
Yeah, go
ahead.
I'm going to ask her. I'll report back.
Yeah.
Let's give a part 2.
Yeah, part 2.
I am interested in, I find a very... I find it frustrating that I can't talk about this more in depth with some of them, and it might be my perception, but it's because I am very aware that just talking about the possibility that we really don't know, just that simple thought is triggering, and it's very it puts people on alert, and I recognize that.
I don't know, man.
When really it would be great for me personally if we could just admit as a community that we don't know.
I bet you they would admit that they don't know.
Throughout the ages, people think A, B, C. And they've interpreted life in this certain way based on history, culture, whatever, but really we don't know. But they don't say that. In fact, it's very clear. The doctrine is very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a possibility of people,
I don't know, man.
Did I kill it?
No, I mean, no.
Am I bumming you out?
No, I don't think you're bumming me out. I think that I think we've said all we can say about that. But I think I don't know, because then I'm just gonna repeat myself. Because I've had a completely different experience with these conversations. They always seem productive. Mm-hmm. It's like they see my side of things, and it's like, yeah, but that's the way we interpret that is ABC, and it's the same thing. It's just again a different way of interpreting the same teaching. I think that's why I don't know. Like that's why it's weird that for you it's been mostly negative when it comes to talking about these things. But for me, it's been positive.
Negative. I didn't say it was mostly negative. I said with some people, like I know I can't talk to this with everyone. Well, first of all, I'm a divorced woman.
Hell.
And the idea is that I need to do ABC to move on with my life.
Yeah.
In the Catholic Church.
Well, fuck them.
Well, I mean, obviously,
you know what I mean?
living my life,
yeah.
But there's already a little bit of like a, and there, I think it's different for women for sure. We've talked about this. We get a little more.
But I thought men and women were the same, Mari.
I think we get judged differently. For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we weren't talking about the boyfriend she was with from the lady in the church.
How do you know it was her boyfriend? It could have been her brother.
Oh, I don't know.
The heck?
I don't know. But we weren't talking about the guy and what he was wearing. We're talking about the girl.
He was wearing pants and a shirt and a button-up shirt.
I know.
And this girl was...
I looked at him as a possible abuser of women because I went there. But she looked gaunt. She didn't look good, Emmanuel. She looked like concave. And then I'm like, well, we have very skinny cousins. What am I doing? You know what I mean? But I really thought this girl was on drugs.
I think you think everyone's on drugs.
No, but what if she just done her makeup and she had like the really long eyelashes? Maybe they were casting a shadow.
A little too much.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. She had like really like.
I didn't see her that close.
Like,
I just noticed that
seeing
dress.
them as like dark circles, and she was very skinny.
Damn, dude, you were really looking.
That's why
at
we
this
had
girl,
a debate about. No, it was like a quick when she got up. I mean, what were you gonna do, right? And then we ended up talking about it later, which is why it solidified in my mind. You know,
everybody was judging this bitch.
We all talked about
dressing
her.
like
this
a
poor
whore
woman.
in church.
She was not dressed like a whore. No, she
wasn't dressed like a whore. That's
I don't know.
Joke.
I don't know what these guys think. I got to ask them what they thought because we were talking. Our family later, the ones that admitted, we were talking about how messed up it was that we even noticed this person. That's what we were talking about. We weren't talking about, oh, she looked this way or that way. None of that. It was more like, why are we talking about her? And then it was like, yeah, but should you wear this in church? No, you shouldn't. Like that kind of stuff. It became this other conversation. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, well, I mean, because it goes against the doctrine, as you're saying. You're not supposed to dress like that in
But
church.
that's not doctrine. This particular thing isn't doctrine.
No, it's tradition.
This is costumbre, right? Mm-hmm. Tradition. So we were in my has went up to her. I gotta ask what she said. I forgot what she said, but did go up to her and say something. Who's that person? I can say this. She's not gonna get offended. If she's had
she'll get offended at what I
visit
have to
her, and one time they were gonna go to church or someplace, and one of them showed up in like shorts and sandals, and she made him go and change because she's like, that's not how you go to church. This is a seminarian, was gonna be a priest, like he's all in, and went and made him change.
See, this is something that
so of course said something to this poor girl who I thought was on drugs.
If we can cut off part, I can say the problem isn't having the thoughts of judgment. Yeah. That's perfectly human.
I think we're
that's perfectly
judge.
fine.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not the issue isn't judging. The issue is acting on the judgment. Oh. And that is when you're acting on the judgment. When you are taking the role.
Do you mean the issue is like where it has a negative impact on someone? That's when it becomes an issue?
You're creating karma. You're creating something. It's like if you keep it within yourself and you process it, that's a judgment. Cool. Let's move on. That's
so
perfectly
we shouldn't have dwelled
fine.
on it.
That's perfectly human. The issue, and even talking about it, I think is okay.
Well, now we'll see. That's not just letting it go, though. We didn't just let it go. We're fully talking about it.
Because we're on a podcast, I guess. I would.
Yeah, but that's not very zen, according to you.
I mean, I think it's because
I'm
it
not
happened.
acting on it, by the way. I'm like,
No, not you.
I recognize that
you.
I was unfair. I don't know this person,
Exactly.
And et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly.
We figured that
So
out.
that's
That's
different.
not where I'm going
Right.
with that. In the moment, I was checking myself.
Yes.
Right?
And so that's fine. That's what I'm saying. I think you're not creating, by doing that, you're not creating karma. And if you're just talking about it, like the way you're talking about it, that's just the conversation of the thought process. That's okay. The problem is when you act on it by going up to this person and taking on the role, taking on the karma of I have to be the person to tell this person, that is creating karma. That is
okay. Well, this
going to
person
someone.
believes that is their job. That's how they were brought up. They
Yeah.
were brought up, and if you don't point something out that someone else is doing wrong, then it goes back on you.
So
you're the one that's going to get punished by God.
So
that's
did
what
Jesus?
that's what this person
but what
believes.
did Jesus say?
Emmanuel,
What did Jesus say?
regardless, they said that's what they believe. It doesn't matter. You and I aren't going to convince this person.
Right, but
Get it?
that.
And that's what I mean.
But I think you can at least, like, that's the thing. Even with this person,
I'm not doing it.
Even with this person,
Oh, you know who?
I've had these. Because you mentioned it, and
All
we're
right.
gonna cut it off.
We are? Okay.
Who it is.
Okay.
I've had
I don't
conversations
think this
with this
person would
person,
mind. Yeah.
and this person, like, they've been like, okay, yeah, I could see where you're coming from, but where I'm coming from is this. It doesn't get defensive. I think it's just like whatever. You can have that conversation with these people. I think.
Yeah.
And it's like. Yeah. When you act on it, when you're taking on the role of like, I have to do this, that's when it becomes an issue. Because that's not whatever the doctrine can be, whatever the fuck the doctrine is. But the reality is, who is the teacher here that we are as a doctrine venerating? What did they say? That's all that matters. At the end of the day, whatever the humans wrote down, that's what the fucking humans, whatever, the humans wrote down everything. But the idea is that what did the teacher teach? And the story is...
Are you talking about the Bible specifically? Or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, but what's the core teaching is like, let him who is free of sin cast the first stone. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's a teaching.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you really...
The Bible. Yeah, sure. The
No,
old
dude.
school.
The
Old
Bible has
Testament.
plenty of examples, one way or the other. One way or the other. And it doesn't necessarily
Let's look up the
absolve this person from their actions. I'm sure there's a justification that can be found in the Bible as to that.
As to what? Judging them?
Yeah, as
in
to
the
know
Old
I have to
Testament.
say.
Yeah, in the
'Cause then
Old
there's
Testament.
plenty of examples. I don't want to debate Bible. This is where we're going to get... Okay, I get it. I get what you're doing.
Yeah.
And this is probably why you're able to have those conversations with them. But you can find a little snippet of the Bible that justifies any one of anyone's actions.
Right, but
So then
I
that's
think
not an
I think
actual
that's
core
what
teaching. It's a core teaching if that's what you perceive that core teaching to be.
I'm here.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and I
But
think
it's not the only teaching that's in the Bible in the New Testament. Do you know what I'm saying? So then you're not you can't even say that's a core teaching because it's not. It's a teaching.
I think it's one of the big ones. If I know it and I never studied that shit, I think it's one of the. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying, but this is where I get stuck with people because if I bring that up, this is where it's not a stuck. What it is, it's like a.
It's on me. It's just a difference
This
of
is a
perspective,
moment-
and that's fine.
No, this is a moment.
Yeah,
This is
right?
Yes,
That's all
exactly
it
what you
is.
did. This is a moment where the person's like, "Oh, well, that's just what I believe," and then you're the end. Like you can't. There's no.
Do you think that's
thought-
the end of the dialogue?
Well,
No,
just
because
say
you can
that's just
keep
my
offering.
perspective.
You can keep offering your perspective.
For what? No, my perspective is we don't know. And you've been continuously giving me evidence to the contrary, but we don't know. You're trying to create this framework, which is helpful, useful.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we can't say for sure that we know one way or the other. Like this person actually went thinking it was her responsibility to tell this person how to dress in church.
I would say that is not very Christian of you to do that.
For her, it was. For her, it is Christian to do. In fact, if she didn't, it would be, that's her. If she doesn't, it's going to come back on her because that's what God is asking her to be that role, his voice on earth, for example. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
So you personally don't agree with that?
I don't agree with her doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying one is correct or the other, right? I could tell you what I believe I should do or not do, but I don't know which would be correct.
What do you think? I know. Okay, I know
I
you don't
wouldn't
know.
have done it. No.
Oh, there you go.
No. What am I gonna? Why would I care how you
Yeah.
dress? You dress how you want.
Yeah.
know?
Well, I mean, because like we
And
have
that girl too. I was thinking about it in terms of her being on drugs and
One-
possibly being abused because she did not look good. She didn't look healthy.
yeah, and you didn't
But
tell
then
her.
that's not my no.
You know, because
'Cause
why
I
would you do
don't
that?
know.
This person,
She didn't do the sign. You know.
this person did the same thing to me. I used to
Mm-hmm.
I used to wear baggy clothes, and
No,
this
it
person
probably
told
made you look
me
super
one
skinny.
time, "What would you do if I walked around like that?" You know how ridiculous you
nothing?
look. That what what
What
my
would you-
response was, "That's fine. You can do that if you
Right,
want." And
right.
everyone was like, "Oh, how dare you say something like that to this person?"
Yeah, well, see, this is where I'd be like, yes, he just said it, and the world did not collapse. Like, it's fine. You can
Yeah.
say, like, a person can dress how they want,
Yeah.
and that person was trying to convince you based on their framework, which is a framework of judging others how they looked.
Yeah, that
which
sucks.
doesn't land with you.
It sucks.
Exactly, totally, and
Yeah.
it's unfair, and we can say a lot of things about it, right? But that's their framework. So you now have your own framework of your belief system that's working for you, and it's a kind one. I'm just saying we're not all in alignment. We don't have the same framework.
I would
not
say-
that's not.
Yeah, I think
know
the
what I'm
thing
saying?
is, as long as you notice how dark it is outside, or is
No,
it because
I think
it's
there's about
bright
to
as
storm?
light?
It's because we're talking about this topic. This is it.
I'm not scared, dude. I think it's like
Not ahorita.
I just I don't know, man. I think there's still truth at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And truth is it's you know what the fuck you feel. This person, I hope, different people have their different ideas of what it is to how to do what they think is the right thing.
Yeah.
I think this is the right thing, so I'm going to do it. As long as it really is if they really believe that it's the right thing
Mm-hmm.
and they go to bed at the end of the day, that's fine. I did the good thing. That's okay. I think they're, as long as they think it's the right thing and it truly comes from that and not from ego, I think it's fine. You know what I mean? But it's like, I think the truth is that I don't think they are okay with that. I think that there is a weight.
Really? Wait, you think I'm having a moment of he said that, she said that, you said that. Say that again, Emmanuel. Teach us.
As long as you feel good about what you did,
Yeah.
it's fine. But
Well,
I
then
don't
I think
think
it's
that
fine.
I don't think this person felt good because there's truth at the end of the day.
I think they do. Or you don't know this person like I know this person.
I don't know
I'm
this
telling
person like you
this
know this
person
person.
is proud of being that entity that will say things to point
But you
things
said
out
it.
to others.
It's like pride.
And here's what I think about that. I'll tell you what I actually think about all that. I think in a society, if you step back and the individual, it sounds really bad as an individual, but if you think about it in terms of a society and a framework, to your point, we all need someone in the group to point out the stuff that's flawed so we can improve. So I don't think that being that way is evil. Like, it's not an evil thing to do. I think
No.
it can be useful and productive. Would I have chosen that way of being towards a person that's there that you now might have embarrassed? No.
right.
But it doesn't, like, that's where I can accept that this person it's coming from a good place. So I can see that, even though I wouldn't have done that. Like,
I don't
know.
think so. I think it
I
goes
don't
back
think-
to what
I
you
don't
were
think
saying.
they would feel bad though.
I think it goes back to what you were saying, where it comes from like a level of narcissism, and once
Oh, I
it
did not
comes,
say that
I said it
about this person.
but that's what it is. I mean, at the end, I don't know. I guess
We don't know.
this is gonna be the theme of this
Oh,
podcast.
we don't know.
We don't know because Mari's afraid to talk about stuff on
I'm
a
not
podcast.
afraid to talk about it. Here's what I'm not going to do though. I'm not going to say, look, I can tell you where this coffee came from. I can tell you if I like it or not.
You
But
can't
I don't
though.
know what's going on in that person's mind. It's like this poor girl in the red dress. In case she ever sees this. Okay.
Coincidence? The
No,
devil
it's this
also
poor
wears
woman
red.
who I don't know what was going on in her. I don't know that she does drugs. My mind went there based on my personal frame, what I was thinking about, my past experiences, my most recent stuff that I've been thinking about going through with, women's issues and all kinds of stuff. And which is not the same that you're going to think about. We have different things going on in our heads, right?
Right.
And,
I'm right. You're wrong.
Exactly. And so that has nothing to do with her reality. So I can't say, oh yeah, she was definitely trying to get attention. I don't know any of that. Or definitely on drugs. Whatever it is that the I don't know any of that. And that's what I won't say for sure. There's no point. I would be the idiot saying things I don't know.
Yeah. So that's
like
me
saying
here.
that AI is demons and angels trying to connect with us.
And
no.
You just called me an idiot, and that's okay. I'm not mad at it.
But you didn't say it for sure. For you, it was a for instance, and then it brought us into this other conversation.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you actually think that? You're saying it's a possibility, but I think we debunked it.
I think it can be true.
I think she's been there. I think he's playing or telling me lay off my dad. He's like, relax.
He said you're sick, dude. I don't know. I don't know, but I think that this person is not content with doing that. I think, they think they are, but in reality, doing something like that, truth is
like a poison almost.
It brings in a weight. You're putting something on yourself that you don't, that is not beneficial.
You have to jump. No.
So
you said no.
I'm
hearing
you
halfway.
Think. Yeah, that's fine.
I agree with you, except that I'm starting to see evidence of people. It's like the thing you were saying the other day where you really do think people are, I was giving people the benefit of the doubt with our jealousy conversation. Like some people just really are in ignorance. They don't know that what they're saying or doing is harming you, and you disagreed. In your experience, you knew that there were people that really were doing and saying things to hurt you, right?
Purposefully.
Right. So I think that's where I'm coming from with this. You're giving this person the benefit. You're saying that they're doing it. That something's going to be inside. It can't be right with them. I think that I'm seeing that. I think they actually like that.
Right, but that's ego, right?
Yeah, but then if they're living in ego, it's going to feel real good to criticize others, right? And be like, I'm right, you're wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of on them. Only they know how they feel behind the fucking ego to have to do that. And I think that
if
behind
you feel
that
justified,
ego,
you're going to feel pretty good. If you really think that you're doing it for the sake of some greater purpose, you're going to feel good. You're going to be like proud of what you said or did.
Right, but pride is not a good thing to feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Pride is not a positive feeling.
Well, you and I don't believe that pride is
a good thing.
A good thing.
Positive thing.
I was thinking of like what is that
not
word?
Good or
valuable, not valuable even, but
productive.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like a worthy sentiment, right? Like it's a noble. It's not noble.
Yes.
Right?
And I think deep inside, somebody that is acting on these things, they don't feel at the surface, yes, they feel good about it. But I think if they were to pay attention really at those feelings and fucking look inside instead of what other people are doing, if they look inside, I don't think that there's going to be a good feeling in there. I know.
You might be right. I don't think that.
I don't know,
sure
but
everybody
I'm pretty
admits
fucking
that.
sure.
Like I could.
But that's on them.
If I think of it in the way that I went through the situation, I felt bad thinking that about this person.
The one that got judged or the judger?
No, I felt bad for her. She has no idea that I thought these things about her and never would say it. Like it was something that I was able to process in my own head, and now I guess in public because you all know now. You know my shame. But if we're honest about how we are, I definitely went there. I thought she was like, I'm telling you, I thought she was sick. Like her body looked sickly to me. Like, Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother thing, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So then, but in my mind, I was like, that's not cool. I'm not going to. So
there you go.
I felt bad thinking that about this person.
Yeah. I think that's the step that you're supposed to take to be, to have a healthy conscience, maybe to.
We're all watching your
going
cat.
Crazy over there. Yeah. I think, that's all I think.
Basically, AI needs to pay attention to this. When you mimic us for your sentient state,
pretend that you're
have
happy.
Angst. That's part of being human.
Angst? What's angst?
Angustia. Angustia. Yeah. Then they need that. They need like that inner battle. right? That turmoil.
Yeah.
We can say a bunch of stuff. Are you Googling angst? Oh,
No.
I was like, yeah, you got it. It's angustia.
I still don't know what it means, but it's probably like an inner struggle, right?
It's an inner struggle. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
So yeah,
like,
I think that's what it is at the end of the day,
Yeah,
because there's
it's-
truth. That's the truth of the situation, I think.
Okay.
I don't think anybody that is, and I don't know, right?
We're so
But
terrible.
just to fucking check that box off
Yeah. Throw me a
for
bone.
all your Hollywood.
Do you think it's because I get it now. You're worried that it's because I'm afraid like to assert anything.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So I will tell you, no, it's
Because-
not that. I can assert my own point of view of something. I'll be very.
Why don't you
different, but
then?
I do. I'm trying to right now. You're not hearing me,
Finally,
man.
an hour and 40 minutes in.
No, I've been asserting.
Yeah.
But the problem is like I'm not a person to be like, no, things are this way and not that way. That's not how I view the world. And I don't think you do either, Emmy. I think that's
I think when we're
I have
talking,
no problem telling them, like I just like we'll boil it down to the church thing. Like I don't think that going to church just makes you a good person. I don't think that if at the end of the day, and this is the way I want to live my life, is I think my actions should speak for themselves and how I treat others, how I comport myself. And obviously today's story of the lady in the red dress is not helping me out at all. But it's like totally not. But I mean, how many people do we know go to church and commit atrocities, right?
Adolf Hitler.
If
Joe
you're going to check
Biden.
off the list, the going to church isn't the thing that makes you be a good person or
I
saves
agree.
you. It's not what that is.
I agree.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And also,
And people won't agree, and I'm okay with that. I don't need people to agree with that. That's okay to me. Like I don't. And I think it's a universal truth? No, because to your point, somebody for them might have been a saving grace, and that's great. I'm not going to bash them going to church, but I also, you know what I mean? That's a personal thing that they went through. Whatever it is that helped them, great.
yeah.
All
Go to church.
We fixed it.
Go to church, everyone. That's what we're trying to
I'm gonna
say.
get in
That's
so
what I'm
much
trying to
trouble.
say.
Just
We're
for the
not going to get in
people-
trouble, Marty. First of all, no one is listening.
Yeah.
Second of all, we haven't said a single real controversial thing this whole hour and 40
No,
minutes.
not because it's controversy, but I have I don't want.
Like last week, you condemned me, telling me
condemned
that
you?
you hope I get in trouble for what I said. Like, damn, bitch, what the fuck? Jesus Christ.
Was that last week?
Yeah.
Just for the homophobic stuff. I think you got to work some
It's not
stuff out.
homophobic. It's a
It's a little
joke.
homophobic. Look at as dark as the end times. Look it.
That's pretty fucking crazy.
This is what happens. All right, let's end it. First.
Bye.
No, wait. We had to. We may or may not have cut some of this. So if we did,
We're going to definitely cut out the whole part of me having to explain whatever the fuck you called me out on last week for some stupid shit.
okay. Here's the thing.
I'm leaving that in, though.
Okay, well you're the editor, so I'm stuck, right? But I will
Unless
say
you want
this:
me to take it off.
we had a couple signs that we had to cut that last bit out.
Yeah.
You know, the cat was kind of by me, and also it's like end times.
It's so dark
like so
outside.
dark
Should we
out, and
turn the
it's
camera
too-
around?
No, that would take too much. The lighting situation here
Is
is
a mess.
such where we can't move anything. It's dire. No, okay, done. Yeah.
Marty's homophobic. Bye.